Hey, Risen King family, Pastor Tim here. Do you remember the show Fear Factor that was on in the early 2000s? Every episode there were contestants who had to complete a series of 3 stunts in which they had to face their fears, and if they successfully completed all 3 stunts and did them the fastest or held out the longest, then they would win the grand prize. Some of the stunts were things like hanging from a helicopter or jumping from one building to another. There's always a stunt, it was usually the middle one out of the 3, that involves something really gross, like sitting in a tub and having snakes dumped on you, or having to retrieve something with your mouth from a tub of lard, or letting spiders crawl on your face. That's why I could never really get into the show. That middle stunt just grossed me out too much. I couldn't even enjoy it. I think the winning contestant on each episode got something like $50,000. I remember thinking it would take a lot more than $50,000 for me to even think about doing some of the things that those contestants did. And the fears that they had to face on that show were things that really it was up to them whether they did or not. They're fears that in normal life you could pretty much avoid if you wanted to. Like, I've never been in a situation where I've had to dangle from a helicopter or where I've had to let spiders crawl in my face. And some fears that we might have in life we can deal with pretty much just by avoiding them. And for some fears that works and that's appropriate. But there's other fears that we face in life that we don't have as much of a choice about. Fears that are just a part of life that there's no getting around. Fears like not having enough. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of us or someone we love getting sick or getting injured. There's irrational fears and anxieties that can crop up. There's the fear of death and dying. These fears are a part of life. We live in a world, like Jesus said in John 16:33, in which we will have troubles. And so there's some of these fears that we're just going to face. That's the bad news. We're going to have to face some of these fears. But here's the good news. Those fears that we face don't have to control us. We don't have to be bound by those fears. We can, because of who God is and because of what He's done, because God is with us, we can live free from fear. That's what we're considering in a new sermon series that we're starting Sunday called Unafraid. We're going to consider how we can live lives that are unafraid, free from the control of fear. This Sunday, as we get started, we're going to be looking at Psalm 46, and I encourage you to take a few minutes between now and Sunday morning to read that psalm, to soak in it, and that'll be great preparation for our time together. Well, as always, there's a lot of great stuff going on at Risen King. I hope that you will check the website, risenking.org, or download our smartphone app so you can stay up to date on all that's happening. Tomorrow, Saturday, February 20th, we are having our men's breakfast at 8 a.m., and then we also have our Revive service at 6 p.m., and so I hope that you'll join us for those. I'm going to be at both and am looking forward to it. I also want to make sure you know about a special event that's coming up next Sunday evening, the 28th. Eb and I are hosting this at our home, and it's just a special evening with Bill and Jill Randall. As many of you may know, Bill was our previous senior pastor, and after he and Jill went off staff here at Risen King, they have been doing some amazing entrepreneurial ministry with a global reach, and it's exciting what they've been doing, and it's even more exciting some of the things that God is putting in front of them for this coming season. So I want you to have a chance to get to know Bill and Jill, to hear what's going on with them, and to hear about how we as a church family can support them and be a part of sending them out into this new season that God has for them. So I want to invite you to join us for that next Sunday the 28th at 6 o'clock at our house. This is open to anyone. Would love to have you come. But I especially want to invite those who are new to Risen King in the last year and a half, and maybe you don't know the Randalls. I especially want to invite you to come. I really want you to get to know them and find out what they're doing, and so that you can be a part of sending and supporting them too. So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can email me at tim@risenking.org, or you can call the church office, which is 244-2300. Let me know you're coming. I'll give you directions to our house, and I'm really looking forward to that. And next Sunday evening, hope that lots of you can join us for that. I think that's it for this week. We will see you on Sunday.